So I was sitting down the other day thinking of good content ideas that I can put out to you guys, and my dad stumbled across this ball when he was out playing. It is a VOLVIK VIMAT ball. Now you might have seen these in American Golf, and he said, why don't you do a ball review? Now I haven't done a ball review for a very long time. The last one I did I think was the Vice Golf Ball review, and that went down pretty well. So this is all about today's subject, and it is the VOLVIK VIMAT ball. We're going to see how it performs, how it feels, what it does out on the course. Let's get stuck in. This is Nick Does Golf. Hey golfers, and welcome back to another video here on my channel Nick Does Golf, the YouTube channel purely designed for me to share my experiences with you via tips, advice, reviews, challenges as well, which I'm going to throw in there just to mix it up a little bit. That is the pure idea of this channel. So today's video is all about the VOLVIK VIMAT Golf Balls, a budget golf ball which anybody can go out and buy. You can buy this at American Golf, I think they're about £20, and they're obviously going to be cheaper online because that is the way forwards right now in these dodgy times. I'm going to be reviewing this golf ball out on the course, how it performs off the tee, with the irons, around the greens, and also on the greens as well. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly the ball that I'm using right now. I've had a few hits with it just to see how it feels and how I can present it to you guys. Here it is right here. So I've got a lovely red one. Red is not my colour, blue is, but never mind. This is the one that my dad gave me. So this is a matte finish ball. You can feel that as you touch it. As we know, VOLVIK are quite quirky. Bubba Watson is pretty much the brand ambassador and the face of this. A lot of the ladies use it as well. Obviously I think that's down to more of the colour sort of thing, but Bubba Watson uses them and he loves to bend the ball 70 yards through the air with these. So this golf ball is a very soft ball. You can feel that even when you chuck it up in the air. You can feel it as it comes off the face. It is very soft, it lands very soft as well, but it is also designed to pretty much straighten out every shot that you hit, which is exactly what we all want. So we're going to jump straight in and have a look. We're going to start with the irons and see how the ball reacts when hitting a few of these shots. Let's go. So that last shot was the par 3 9th hole. It's roughly about 170 yards off the back tees. Quite difficult really, so I've had to take one extra club, hit it a little bit lower, and this is the result. So I don't know whether you could hear it, but the strike was excellent with that ball. It felt really good off the face, came straight out the middle, the ball flight stayed exactly where I wanted it to. The great thing about that shot was, even though the ball was moving so much in the air, it stopped really quickly, and I'd be very happy with that in a competition. So let's see if I can roll that putt in. It's roughly 15 feet or so. Let's see if I can make it. One more roll and that was in, but never mind. Nice par with that, really pleased. Now with this VOLVIK ball, the irons feel really good, and that is a great thing because with the value of these balls, that is exactly what you want. You want them to feel good so you can feel confident and you can ultimately get the great strike on the ball. But the ultimate test, especially for me, is with this club, the 2 iron. As you can see, the sole is really thin. I want to see how the ball reacts when I hit this. Let's see how the VOLVIK ball fares. wow, I've got to be honest, my ball striking hasn't been the best lately with any club, but I've managed to sort it out, and with that ball I struck that right at the middle, absolutely nutted it, and I'm really pleased with that. The ball flight, I wanted to hit a low left to right fade into this wind, and it did just the job. So in terms of ball striking, the ball feels really nice. For me, it is a little bit too soft. I prefer a harder ball if I'm honest, but in terms of the ball striking and how it feels as it comes off the face, it feels really good. In terms of forgiveness, it feels really good, so if you hit a heel strike or a toe strike, you can still get away with it, and that's what you want. So it's going to travel roughly the same distance, obviously not on the intended line, but that is more to do with your swing than anything else. So I'm playing the dogleg on the blue course here. I've just knocked an iron down off the tee, hit it really good. I've got the same club into the hole, which is a 7-iron. We're going to see how it pans out. So with the wind is coming off the left hand side, so I'm going to have to aim it down the left, let it drift in on the wind, and hopefully get somewhere near. So we're going to have a look at that. Pulled it a fraction, hit it really well, it comes straight out the screws, so the strike was not a problem. It was more the swing, to be honest, but the distance was great. Pulled it into one of the bunkers, but overall with irons, really good, so I'm really impressed with that. So I've pulled it into the bunker, so this is a good opportunity for me to show you how it reacts around the greens. Let's get in that bunker. So what I thought I would do there is combine the bunker shots along with the shots around the green, and I'm going to talk about each one as I go. So the bunker shots, as you can see, I played really well. I'm really happy with the one that got close from that long distance. It felt really good. You could slide the club right underneath the sand, which is exactly what you want, and it landed nice and softly with a little bit of run out. Okay, you don't want it to land dead on the spot, and you also want a little bit of control, so you don't want it running out as much as it can. In terms of chipping, it felt good. However, again, it was a little bit too soft for me, and the matte finish made it feel sort of weird off the face, and especially when I had a good lie with the ball, it felt like it was a little bit spongy, so there's no sort of forgiveness, if you like, in terms of that. So you couldn't really feel like you had a good connection with the ball. Now, this can differ from person to person. Obviously, there's harder balls and softer balls for people to use. So in terms of the greens, it's not necessarily great for me, but it might be good for you. Chip and runs and keeping it low around the greens when I needed to. It didn't feel too bad. It felt, again, a little bit weird off the face, but in terms of distance control, it felt great. So there's not much of a problem with that. But overall, around the greens is pretty good. So from here, we're going to move on to putting. So for putting, it felt really good, to be honest. No matter what distance you were at, I think it was a little bit harder to sort of feel how the ball was going to react off the face with the shorter ones, but the long distance ones weren't a problem at all. It felt really nice. It rolled really good on the greens as well, which is ideal for what you need. But you want to be able to have some confidence on the short ones and know how the ball's going to react off the face. Now, I think this is something to do with the matte finish, once again, but that's just my opinion. So it wouldn't be suitable for me with the short puts, and obviously you cannot change the ball during your round. But in hindsight, I think with a little practice, it wouldn't be too bad, and I would get used to the ball like you would do with any ball that you use. So here we have a 30-foot putt. I'm going to show you how it rolls from here and see how the ball reacts off the face. I'm reading it right to left. Let's see how it gets on. So I think with that putt, it just backed up exactly what I said. It felt really good from long distance. The strike wasn't a problem either. It ran out just a little bit because it was more downhill than I thought. With the short putts, I think it's just practice and getting used to the ball and feel as you're around the hole from 6 feet and in. But I think that's something that I could probably get used to, and you could too if you choose to use these balls. So I've reviewed this ball with iron play, short game, bunker play, chip and runs, pitch shots, and putting as well. Now for the big one, everybody wants to know how it reacts with the big stick. So we're going to jump onto that right now and take a look. So I've just clipped a few drives away around the 9 holes of me playing. You don't really tend to hit many drivers around this 9, but the ones that I did, the ball felt great off the face. The workability of the ball, so I've had to hit a fade and a draw. It felt really good, so the ball didn't tail off and didn't automatically dive right and dive left. It sort of held that arc for as long as it could really. So in terms of that, it felt really good. I'm going to show you off this tee box. Lovely drive down here, hopefully. The hole itself is really straight, so with the wind coming off the left, I'm just going to start it off down the left hand side and hopefully it'll come back with a little bit of fade. The one thing that I will say about this ball is it's not really great in the dark because it's getting darker now during the summer months. They are sort of dying off now. We're heading into autumn and then the winter will soon be here, so it's not great playing with a red ball as it gets dark because you can't see it as it gets down the far end. But that is just common sense, so I don't recommend you do that. Let's get stuck in and see how this drive fares, see how it reacts off the face, just so you can see it for yourself. So that one wasn't struck as well as the other two, slightly out the toe with that one, but in terms of forgiveness, the ball flight was really straight. I think it helped a little bit with the wind coming off the left. Coming out the toe, generally you're going to be sort of hitting it a little bit higher, but the ball flight stayed exactly straight, exactly how I wanted it to, so you can't complain. In terms of distance, I can just about see it. In terms of a normal ball that I would play with, something like a Callaway Chrome Soft, it's not too far behind at all, probably 5-10 yards, which is nothing really. So in terms of that, distance wise and distance control, it's really good, so you can't really complain for such a budget golf ball. So to conclude, if you're wondering about purchasing these balls, I would definitely recommend it. If you're looking for a budget golf ball and not spending absolutely loads on golf balls, then definitely try these balls. There is nothing wrong with them at all. In terms of driving, they are really good. Consistency is good, the ball flight is great, the same with the irons and the ball striking. Forgiveness is also a big thing as well. In terms of going around the greens, the feel is good. They're a little bit softer than I would personally like, but that is not a problem. You can sort of get used to that the more that you practice with them, and then when you get onto the greens, they are good from long distance. And I think again with how soft they are, I think as you get used to it with the short putts, you can sort of gauge how they're going to react off the face. But overall, a good solid ball for a budget golf ball. So if you have been wondering about these golf balls and how they perform, they're a good solid golf ball, and I definitely recommend that you try these out. You can buy them from American Golf, you can get them online, they are really cheap and they perform really well for the money. Guys, I hope you found this video really insightful and that you've liked it. If you had, give it a thumbs up, ding, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've tried these golf balls in the past or you are currently reviewing them for yourself. If you haven't used them, also comment. Let me know if you are willing to try these out. Let me know how you get on with that also. If you enjoyed it that much, hit that big red subscribe button down below for me, somewhere there, and also hit the bell for those notifications every time I upload a new video. I'd really be grateful for the support for my channel. It is growing very steadily and I'm loving the support and the interaction from as many of you golfers out there as possible. So thank you very much. As per usual, make sure you follow my social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok to keep up to date with everything that I'm doing on a daily and weekly basis. I look forward to doing many more reviews and giving you loads more tips and advice. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and see you all very soon.